And welcome to Obidient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope and the new Nigeria is possible. Now, good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending your time zone. Today, once again, we are here to have discussion on the things that are happening in Nigeria, especially on what is happening at INEC headquarters, Abuja. As you know, some time ago, we had the Edo people who came out in mass to protest at the INEC headquarters about their wreck. This time around, it has come to the turn of the Ondo state, and they massively converged at the headquarters of INEC, protesting vehemently against Mahmoud Yakubu. However, this seems not to attract so much of sympathy from Nigerians who are looking at it from the point of view that if Chief Bola Tinubu have to act, the protest should be focused on Chief Bola Tinubu and not INEC chairman, who may not be able to resign from office, but Chief Bola Tinubu may have to relieve him if Nigerians did want. And again, we'll be coming with the second discussion on the apology that were made at the plenary today by Alex Mascot Ikweche, who pleaded with Nigerians to forgive him for slapping and calling names, derogatory names, to the Uber or Bolt driver whom he assaulted. He was very, very appealing to Nigerians about that. But reactions trailed his apologies as Nigerians are reacting against his apology, calling some of them, calling it insensitive, and some of them saying he should not be pardoned. But again, those reactions are what we are going to take today and bring you one of that. And again, we are also going to bring you what His Excellency P2B has to say about the new quest for a vice presidential jet for Nigerians, and that is His Excellency P2B, who actually, showed his concern about what is going on in Nigeria again to procure a second new flight for the Vice President Kashim Shettima, citing that his life is at risk. The same thing the same gimmick they used for Chief Bola Tinubu when they wanted to purchase that. But let's get down here. I'm not the only one to have this very discussion today. I have Angel in the studio and Mr. Ako, Due Process, to join us on Zoom. But let's start with Angel in the studio.
Good day, my well-active citizens and obedient worldwide. Welcome. Tell your neighbor, say, hope day, but not in our leaders or in our politicians, but in God. Nigeria will rise again if the leaders can commit to. If the leaders can commit to selfless service. Welcome. Let's discuss.
Yes, Angel, talking about selfless service, whether that is what is being portrayed at the National Assembly today in plenary, as we can hear the man speak. So many Nigerians are saying, okay, he had a written apology which everybody read, and many people were really against what was really, especially the last part where he was talking about someone else and not really about himself. But judging from what transpired at the National Assembly, he coming openly in the floor of the House to apologize to Nigerians on what transpired, that he was really very, very sorry about that. I want to see, so many people has reacted. I want to see what your thought. Do you think he sincerely is, apologizing to Nigerians, or he's just acting for, as usual, how the National Assembly people usually do?
Yeah, I believe he's not sincere. He's not sincere in his apology. And to me, I don't even know, but the issue here is he's not sincere. One is because he's caught on camera. That's why he's apologizing. Because if you see someone that is remorseful, you will know. This man is not remorseful.
Okay,
it's just because he's caught on camera.
Okay, before we get into that, we'll be listening to all of that. Let's take your reaction on the issue of Mahmoud Yakubu. As you know, after 2023, which we are actively involved in what Mahmoud Yakubu, you know, all what he did. Yeah. Now, after then, we have off-cycle elections in different states, which Mahmoud Yakubu ultimately was accused of rigging those elections, and Bola Tinubu continued to let him be in office. Edo people has protested in the same place that they were protesting today, because we can see massive crowd with banners and all of that coming from Ondo State. They seem to be self-interested on what happens in each state. So it's more like pockets of protest coming out from state. Don't you think that it will be more pronounced if Nigerians should go out en masse protesting for the sack of Mahmoud Yakubu? Whether Bola Tinubu wants to sacrifice him or not, for us to get a good election in place in Nigeria, don't you think that Mahmoud Yakubu needs to go?
Yeah, I agree with you. Nigerians, we need to come out collectively and protest, so that we need to ring the bell on Tinubu's ears for him to know that Nigerians are serious. Because if we keep doing it state by state, Tinubu will, okay, this thing will always go away. It will always fizzle out. It doesn't matter. It will not take long. They will forget about it. Once the election is done in that state, they will just forget about everything. But when we come out collectively and do that protest and demand the sack of INEC chairman, I think Tinubu will know that Nigerians are serious now. And the man needs to go, because he has caused so many damages.
And you know that if that action is actually taken, the electoral reforms that we have been talking about for since can take effect.
Exactly.
And that will allow for even the new person who will be brought on board can allow new political parties to emerge to actually challenge the deadlock that they're trying to get a one-party state. But will Bola Tinubu allow that to happen? That remains to be seen. But before we get too deep into that, let's take a listen to the apology that was given by Alex Mascot Ikweche. Now, when you listen to this, you see whether the young man really meant as he apologizes. Let's take a listen to him. And please, you can go to the comment section and, tell us what you feel about it. But remember that, as he said in the video, we are all human and we are bound to err. We will know that so many of the people of NAS members, call it senators, call them House of Rep members, they have in one way or the other erred, which we are forgiven, as he has pleaded for forgiveness. Yes. If you recall the case of one senator who actually went who assaulted a woman where he went to buy a toy in a toy shop. Yeah. I mean, he continued to be a senator, though he's not on seat now. But let's take a listen to this very particular one and see how that goes. Credit to NAS TV for bringing this to all Nigerians to know that actually there was such an apology that was tendered to Nigerians. Let's take a listen.
Acknowledge that I am human, thus infallible. And in recognizing the significance of the role as a public servant, I am mindful of the weight of my words and actions and how they may have affected those that I represent. Since the incident, Citizen Abuja and I have engaged in alternative dispute resolution methods. And I am pleased to inform this Honorable House that it's a respectful and constructive resolution. Additionally, my sincere apologies to the leadership of the House, my honorable colleagues, and the entire National Assembly as a whole for any deficit of goodwill that this particular incident may have caused. I am aware that my actions reflect not only on myself, but also the esteemed institution in challenging situations. Mr. Speaker and honorable colleagues,
this year personal explanation looks like a lead debate.
Been especially disheartening as it stands in the contrast to the positive strides that we have made in my constituency of Aba North and Aba South, particularly in the areas of health, education, and empowerment. Nevertheless, it serves as a teachable moment, Mr. Speaker. I just want to state once again that I am human. Even though there was things were said, and those things I regret. I apologize to all Nigerians. Regardless of the provocation, there should be no reason why I should react in that form. So I want to use this opportunity to appeal to all Nigerians. Let us let what has happened remain in the past, and let us forge forward. Thank you once again for giving me the opportunity to tender this apology, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Acknowledge that I am human.
That is Alex Mascot Ikweche. Of course, most of us would have heard the written version of this, but this one is very extensive as it reads from the House. Now, Angel, you know, we were talking about this earlier, and you were of the opinion that his apology, though well given to Nigerians, that it doesn't sound sincere. But again, you know, you don't go into somebody's mind to know deliberately whether the person is faking it or whether the person is giving it. But I want you to look in the context of the person who was perceived injured in this very whole thing, which happens to be the boat driver. I know you are not in that very position of the boat driver, but don't you think that that is the person ultimately to take this very apology to the bank? I mean, like, taking it seriously, because Nigerians are really not happy about what happened.
Yeah, Nigerians are not happy about what happened, the assault, the insult, and whatever. But I think the main apology should go to the man, the boat driver. I think it's left for him to accept the apology and move on, or not to accept the apology and press charges. Yeah. I think the most important...
But the very dark man, very black dark man, I saw a petition that was sent out by his lawyers, you know, against this, and I think they are moving forward with all of this. But I see from the perspective where you're coming, it has to deal with the person who, yes, you know, brought this to the limelight about this. If the exposure is enough for people to understand that such a thing has taken place, and if he deems it necessary to take it up more, exactly, you know, and then...
He can also tell the very dark man to slow down, to calm down, that he wants to accept the apology.
Yeah, but for Nigerians, most Nigerians, let's say 70% of Nigerians are not happy with him right now.
They want to use him to set an example for others.
Yeah, but Nigerians are used to forgiving.
Exactly.
Okay, let's quickly get what our own active Nigerian Mr. Akko Due Process, who has joined us all the way from Mina State, has to talk on these two issues that were brought before us. One that has to do with INEC. Welcome to Obidient Family TV, Mr. Akko. Due Process, can you hear me? Please do tell us your take on this very particular issue, on the INEC protest that is going on there, and of course the obvious Nigerian not taking the plea or the apologizing of the House of Rep member who, of course, assaulted a boat driver. Tell us your take, please.
Good evening, Mr. Khan. Good evening, listeners out there. I've, it's a pleasure to be in the midst of obedience and brainstorm on issues as it affects Nigerians. First one, the protest that is ongoing at INEC office in Ondo State is something that, if at all, we are in a serene environment, a country that listen, a country with good government that listen to the opinion of the people, where the opinion of the people shape government policies, actions, and all that, then I would have hope that yes, it's going to yield a result. But on the contrary, we have a government that never care about the yearnings of the people of Nigeria. Mahmoud Yakubu, as he is well known for, he has organized elections previously that has been, adjudged to be unfair in all ramifications. The elections were made with irregularities, lack of compliance with IREV, a lot of ballot paper snatching, votes being exchanged and all that. So for the people to come out and protest, it shows that they've seen a foul play. And before they will allow that to come to reality, and they're thereby asking their candidate to go to court and all that, they are trying to avoid the trap of go to court, because that's the only language that the Mahmoud Yakubu understands. He often say go to court if you are not satisfied. How do I allow you to carry out illegality and you tell me to go to court? So that's the angle the Nigerian people are beginning to react. And I respect them for that. Everyone have the right to what? Free, fair, and credible elections. In a situation where that is not done, they have the right to object it. They have the right to complain against it. And that is what they are doing by organizing themselves in a peaceful protest against the electoral umpire. I'm even surprised having Mahmoud Yakubu as INEC chairman until this moment, because he has failed all tests that has to do with conducting a credible election in any country. So he's being kept there for a purpose, to continue the rigging plan, nothing more. Yes.
My question again, we have to deal on the fact that this happens to be pockets of protests going on. We had the one from Edo State. We had the one actually that started from the cycle election in Kogi State. We saw the protest. We saw the protest that came out from the Imo State off-cycle election again. That was so. It happens to be state by state. Don't you think that it would be more impactful if Nigerians as a whole should come together and decide that the time has come for Mahmoud Yakubu to go, with a protest that makes Chief Bola Tinubu to either relieve him of his duties and then get somebody substantive to head the INEC headquarters?
You're having pockets of protests here and there is because no opposition is interested in pulling the aggrieved Nigerians together to form a formidable protest. And where that is lacking, the people resort to protest here and there, which is not organized to achieve a certain desired goal. We all saw what happened at Ojota during the 2015, where the then opposition party, Muhammad Buhari, and all the, including the current leadership, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was the APC chieftain, they pull resources together and organize that massive protest you saw at Ojota, and they used that to pull down the government, the Goodluck Jonathan administration. Unfortunately, the gentleman we have as opposition leader these days They are not interested in following that route. Otherwise, Nigerians are hungry, and the easiest way to bring out people is to get them mobilized, and you start see them converge in the center. The work is settled. But no opposition is interested in such kind of approach. I wish, and only wish it comes to pass. Otherwise, Tinubu as he has his way of trying to maneuver and achieve result because he believes whatever money cannot buy, more money can buy it. So he has been using this strategy to hold down and continue to hold forth the illegitimate policies he has been pushing throughout his administration. Just 1 year in office and everybody is complaining.
Okay. I think that is as we can take on that because I understand the area where you're coming from as far as INEC is concerned. Chief Bola Tinubu, in the case of opposition, had decided that all the oppositions must be in disarray. That is happening to PDP, it is happening to Labour Party, and of course, even the NMPP is not spared to this. But does that mean that one of these three prominent the people that were very close to Chief Bola Tinubu, according by INEC result, shouldn't they have mobilized people to do this? I believe, like you said, they should take that very position so that we can achieve a collective protest that will be meaningful and try to force the hand of Chief Bola Tinubu to do the needful, which is the sack of Mahmoud Yakubu. Thank you on that. Then this issue of National Assembly, the apology on the House by the House member representing Abia North and South, Alex Mascot Ikweche, who obviously has apologized for his misgiving, has taken it as a responsibility. Do you think that Nigerians will forgive him, or the person that was assaulted will forgive him? What is your take on this very apology of today?
Kanu, if you listen to that apology session, he touched on various angles. The one I'll dwell on, the one he touched on him having settled it with the person he assaulted. That's the driver. And, in that kind of situation, you have a situation where a king claimed to have apologized to the masses, somebody whom he has trampled upon in his own society. How do you expect that? Of course, he's making a claim that he has sorted it out. That is from one angle. Then the other one that I am interested in, towards the end of the speech, he was like, having apologized and all that, that we should move on. No, that is wrong. You don't tell Nigerians what to do with your own case, just like you cannot be the judge in your own case. He is the one that assaulted the driver. All that was expected of him is to apologize. If he's human enough, he should even resign without being told. He should resign and regret his action. Now it's left for Nigerians to decide whether to forgive him. But for you to be telling Nigerians that you have sorted it out with the driver and we should move on, it shows that you are still arrogant. So personally, I'm not accepting that apology, and I feel it's an insult on the sensitivity of Nigerians.
All right, thank you very much, Christian. We've been trying to manage the time so that we won't exceed the time factor. But there is another thing that I wanted to bring to your attention, Mr. Ako, due process. There is this P2B's tweet that went out today where he, spoke extensively about the purchase, or the call for a purchase of a new presidential jet for Vice President Kashim Shettima. And one of the things, or the way he positioned it, is, you know, him just reading about it. He didn't want to, you know, bring himself to, you know, to allude to what the person is saying, but he said he read about it, and it's disturbing. So let me quote His Excellency Peter Obi. He said, in making such a remark, that is the call for procurement of a new presidential jet for Vice President Kashim Shettima, he said the speaker is insensitive and obviously unconcerned about the prevailing economic situation in the country. He said that Nigerians are facing untold hardship at this moment. It's not a secret. And such a provoking call is coming from a person who probably is oblivious of the fact that Nigeria at present has continued to manifest every threat of failed state. He went on, you know, to say so many things on that very post of his, but the important thing is that he was very, very, you know, brave in bringing to the fact that a new presidential jet is not required at this very time. He actually said that Nigerians at this very particular time is the poverty, this thing of the nation. And today there was a video I actually saw where Nigerians were scooping spaghetti that fell from a truck with sand, scooping it. That is to show you the kind of hunger that is actually prevailing in Nigeria. So that's why I said, when PO said that the speaker of that House of Assembly that is proposing for a purchase of the vehicle, he said that he's insensitive and obviously unconcerned about the prevailing economic situation in the country. But all the same, I wish, I don't know whether you saw that very video where people were scooping this. If it is, I don't know if our presenter can actually show that where it can, you know, really bring out what is being said. What people are scooping, if it is not audible for our viewers to hear what is going on there, is that a trailer fell down in this very place and spaghetti and noodles all, you know, on the ground, and people were scooping spaghetti that fell on the floor with the sand of a capsized trailer in Kaduna State. All the residents of that area came out to scoop. This is how poverty is very, very eminent or weaponized in Nigeria, and we're talking about buying another second presidential jet for Kashim Shettima. Just imagine people eating sand in Nigeria, and the government seems not to care about these things. And I mean, I don't know if they feel ashamed that their people are now eating sand. So, Mr. I didn't want to bring this up to you, but I feel with what PO spoke on his tweet that maybe I should show that Nigerians are really suffering, because even people in diaspora don't really understand when we say Nigerians are really suffering. Imagine Ghana budget. They are talking about implementing a regional factory in every project, in every locality in Ghana. They are taking away VAT. They are taking away all manner of taxes away. But what Tinubu is doing is taxing Nigerians to the last. Anyway, what's your take on this PO's tweet on buying new private jet for Kashim Shettima?
Previously, I think about a week ago, I made a comment when I saw the complaint about Kashim Shettima's jet screen being broken and he had to stop over the US and all that. I knew already where they were going to. The target was to get Shettima another new private jet. You know, these people, they are so poor in the head that they cannot think about solution to the societal problem. All they think about is how to live large. How to live large on the masses tax. They tax us the more and they live large. The yacht that President Tinubu bought, when was the last time you saw him inside the yacht? All these are avenues to scoop and loot our resources. They keep looting because they know the people are so docile. No matter what they do, mark my words, even if fuel reaches 2,000 naira today, nobody will protest, sir. I know our people. We'll continue to manage. We have successfully reduced our meal from 3 times a day or more down to 2, some down to 1. That is, and in most cases, even the 1 is not sure. So that's the situation we are, and I'm not surprised where people are trying to loot the spaghetti and the noodles and all that that fell off a capsized trailer. They saw that as a way to solve their hunger problem. It's part of the problem we are facing in the society. And that is why the politicians, they already understand the psyche of Nigerians, that during election, they just come with one noodle, one indomie, one spaghetti, they share it across board, and they continue for the next 4 years. They already understand this, and they continue to use it against the Nigerian people, especially the northern part of Nigeria. That is where it's worse. So we continue to sensitize and educate the people that we cannot continue in this line of expecting gift material, expecting monetary material from politicians. You can't eat your cake and have it. When you collect all these things at the end of the day, they turn their back when they get to office. That's just the truth. If I pay you before riding your the new car I just bought from you, you don't expect any courtesy from me having paid for it. And that's how they are malhandling the entire country, because they already paid their way to become whatever they are today in government. I remember Tinubu make a boastful speech when he hosted the emirs across the country that he paid for it. Of course, he did. He paid for it to become the president. So you don't expect him to listen to Nigerians. He already sorted himself out. So the people now need to understand that this poverty mentality should not continue to linger. Even if we are hungry, at the late minute, somebody who did not remember it for 4 years, the eve of election is now bringing noodle to your doorstep. You should try to understand that since you have not died for the last 4 years, that noodle is not the one that will keep you alive. But many people cannot reject this. And that's why they continue to vote in incompetent people to continue to cause problem and rule our country in a very abysmal performance. Nigeria is one of the 20th country that are hungry across the globe. Is a slap. We have all it takes to be all right. But then our resources in the farm are underutilized because of insecurity, because of lack of agri support to enable farmers to maximize the use of land. And remember, the issue of Hqtrs farmers clashes is also there. So everything is working against the survival of the masses in Nigeria. Everything you can think about is working against the masses. So I'm even surprised that the masses have not been in protest and take over the Aso Rock because of what use over the years. They've not contributed meaningfully to the growth, to the survival of the masses. At what point can politicians make it a subject matter to discuss about the general good, which is a societal development? All they talk about is private jet for Tinubu, private jet for Yacht for Tinubu, this for that. Very soon they'll start discussing about private jet for First Lady. private jet for senators, private jet for deputy governors, private jet for governors. These are the things you'll be hearing going forward because they have lost course. They are behaving like the passengers that were on board in the Titanic. They were told that this ship is about to wreck, and they laughed over it that it's not possible. It's designed never to sink. And that's the attitude of the Nigerian politicians. They feel this ship can never sink. But one day, Mr. Kanu, one day is one day. Crisis will erupt and will disrupt and end up this whole shenanigans. Because an hungry man is an angry man. I don't see Nigerians enduring this hunger to 2027. But then let's watch out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Atop. Thank you. Due process for this intriguing. This your last part. So one day, monkey go market, no go come back. Thank you for being, keeping up this your late hour time, even as we call on you to, join us. And of course, you were there. Thank you so much, and my regards to the family. Now, coming back to the studio, Angel, you see the falling truck and the people who were picking the spaghetti on the floor, including scooping it with the sand. You see a whole lot of people, women, children, men, and all of that. This tells you, when they talk about state capture is not that they put a gun in people's head. It is a process where the government has decided that the people will be weaponizing poverty. So, and that is what you see that happened there. But I see, as at that very time, you very wept, what were going on in your mind when you were watching that very clip.
That is the clip, the video is so demonizing. That is, I don't even know. That is, how can, my thought was, how can they cook this? The charcoal are there, the sand is there, combined with spaghetti. How can they cook it? They
sieve. What they will do is they will find a basket and they are going to sieve it. The important thing you need to understand is that the hunger that is in the land will make people. As a matter of fact, I was watching a video earlier today about somebody who was eating a sacrificed food in the streets. I mean, people used to go and do that kind of, whether you call it occultic or rituals that they put by the roadside. So they cooked and they put the plate on the roadside. And we now have somebody, a young man, who came out there, put this thing down and started eating the food. So, and not minding, didn't you read the other last 2 weeks when Senate President Godswill Akpabio said that wherever you find food, eat. And that's why the young man was eating food in the street that was used for rituals.
Mr. Kanu, I think if our senators, our leaders, if they have conscience, if they have God-fearing in them, I think men watching this video, they should be weeping. They should weep. Men watching this video, your citizens, the people you said you lead, look at what something you as a leader, you as a rep member, you as a senator cannot give to your dog. A human being like you, a mother, a children are scoping charcoal, eating. It's uncalled for. It's not fair. I think Mr. Christian said it. He said, an hungry man is an angry man. I think this needs to anger Nigerians to do the needful. They need to come out, block the Aso Rock, block the National Assembly, so that they will get the message. It's like they're not getting the message. It's like Nigerians are sleeping. They don't even care. Look at it. Look at children. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Thank you so much, Mr. Christian. God bless you for coming out by this time, staying with us. We appreciate you. God bless you. My active citizens and obedient worldwide, we appreciate you. We thank you. Subscribe, like, share, let other Nigerians know what's going on. That what is in the mind of our leaders is aircraft, private jets. Look at Nigerians suffering. Suffering is everywhere, but they don't care. They don't want to care too. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you, but God loves you more. Bye for now.